Okay, let's talk about something I know a lot of you are feeling. Is your small Instagram account just stuck? Like stuck in the mud no matter how hard you try?
hmm Posting all the time, trying to engage.
Exactly. But that follower number, it just isn't moving much. It's super frustrating. And honestly, it's why we wanted to do this deep dive today.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, old advice.
Right. Forget chasing the next viral thing or using tactics from like 2022. We've really dug into the latest stuff, the proven strategies that are actually working now in 2025 for smaller accounts.
We're talking real growth, building a loyal community, not just, numbers for the sake of numbers.
Precisely. And look, if you're really serious about speeding things up, about getting that boost for your profile, there are resources out there. You could check out rapidboost.net, for instance, if you're looking into options for targeted growth.
Good point. But first, let's get our heads around what's actually different about Instagram today.
Okay, so what is the big shift?
Well, what's really fascinating is how discovery works now. It's less about who you already follow and
Okay.
way more about uh, the algorithm really understanding user intent. Content relevance is huge.
You mean like Instagram trying to guess what I want to see?
Exactly. That whole suggested content thing. That's the game changer. It means Instagram is actively putting your stuff in front of totally new people.
People who might actually be interested, even if they don't follow you yet.
Precisely. It kind of levels the playing field for smaller accounts, which is great. But it also means we have to be way more strategic.
Strategic about the content itself and the signals we're sending to Instagram.
You got it. It needs to understand what your content is about and who it's for.
And I keep hearing video, reels, stories, still the main way to get attention.
Oh, absolutely. Short-form video isn't just one way to get reach. It's arguably the main engine. The platform is still pouring resources into it.
Makes sense. Dynamic stuff grabs the eye.
But it's not just the format. There's this huge emphasis now on, like, personal branding, authenticity,
Right.
transparency.
So people want to connect with a real person or a distinct brand voice.
Yeah, in a super crowded feed, that's what stands out. Think about micro-influencers, right?
Okay. Yeah. They might not have millions of followers.
But they have serious trust in their niche,
Yeah.
real credibility.
Yeah.
That's because they're focused and, genuine.
Right. It feels like that authenticity and knowing your specific corner is valued more than just follower count now. So, okay. With all this, where does a small account even start? It feels like a lot.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it really starts with asking yourself, what does growth actually mean for you?
Okay, define your terms.
Exactly. Before you jump into tactics, get clear on your goals. Is it hitting 1,000 followers in 3 months, driving traffic to your website, building a really engaged community?
Or maybe getting sponsorships down the line.
Could be any of those. Having those clear short-term and long-term goals, that's your compass. It tells you which strategies to focus on.
Okay, got it. Set the destination first. Now let's talk about the vehicle, the content. We know video's big, but what kind of content really pulls people in and makes them stick around?
You know it's really powerful? Visual storytelling.
Hmm.
Think about, uh, say you bake cakes.
Okay.
Instead of just a photo of the perfect finished cake, show the process.
Right.
A little time lapse of the mixing, maybe the frosting going on, even the messy bits.
Ah, so the journey, not just the destination.
Right. It creates a much deeper connection. And alongside that, develop a recognizable look, a branded aesthetic.
You mean like consistent colors, fonts, that kind of thing?
Yeah, not super rigid, but consistent enough so people see your post and instantly know it's yours, even before they see the name.
Yeah.
It builds recognition.
Like a visual signature.
Yeah.
Okay. But it can't just be the pictures, right? Captions matter too.
Oh, massively.
Hmm.
Engaging captions are often the secret sauce. Don't just describe the photo, ask questions.
Open-ended ones.
Yeah, things people actually want to answer, share a little story, an anecdote, make people think, and always have a call to action.
Even a simple one.
Even just, what do you think? Or save this post if it was helpful. Get them to interact somehow.
Okay, visual storytelling, consistent look, captions that connect. Got it. Now, let's zoom in on those big formats, carousels and reels. How do we max those out?
Well, carousels are brilliant because they keep people on your post longer, right?
Yeah.
Swiping through.
Yeah, more dwell time.
Exactly. So use that. Don't cram everything onto one slide. Break down a how-to or a list across multiple slides. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Makes sense, keeps them engaged. And reels, they feel like they need to be super quick.
They do. That 7 to 15-second window is kind of the sweet spot. And the first 2 seconds, absolutely critical. You need a strong hook.
Like a surprising visual or bold text.
Something that stops the scroll.
Yeah.
And yeah, trending sounds can help with discovery. Definitely use them strategically, but don't just rely on them.
Why not?
Because original ideas, your own creative spin, that's what makes you stand out long term. Content that feels fresh, unique, that tends to build a stronger audience.
Okay, original twists on trends, maybe. Gotcha. So we're creating great content, but just putting it out there isn't the whole story. We need that interaction, right? How do small accounts actually build that genuine engagement the algorithm likes?
Yeah, you've hit on a really key shift. It's less about just broadcasting your message now and much more about building little micro communities.
So talking with people, not just at them.
Exactly. The algorithm rewards that.
Yeah.
So you got to dedicate time to it. Responding to comments, DMs, try to do it quickly, like within 24 hours if you can.
Show you're actually listening.
And make the responses thoughtful. Ask follow-up questions. Get conversations going. It shows you value your people.
Right, building that two-way street. And what about using engagement to reach new people?
Collaborations. That's a really smart tactic. Find other accounts around your size in your niche.
And do what? Like a shout-out swap.
That's one way. Or you could do collaborative posts, maybe co-create a reel together, even jump on an Instagram Live together for a Q&A.
Ooh, like a fitness coach and a nutritionist doing a joint live session.
Perfect example. It exposes both of your audiences to each other. People interested in fitness are probably interested in nutrition.
Yeah.
It's relevant reach.
That is smart. Tapping into existing relevant audiences.
I
And I've
thought-
seen accounts reposting stuff their followers made. User-generated content. Is that valuable?
Hugely valuable. UGC is amazing for building loyalty and reach. Encourage your audience. Run a challenge. Ask for testimonials. Create a branded hashtag they can use.
Okay.
And then when they post something great, share it to your stories. Always give them credit, obviously. Big credit,
Makes them feel seen, right?
certainly. And their followers see your account. That puppy hype example is classic. They encourage dog pics with their hashtag, got a huge spike in mentions, thousands of new followers. It's a win-win.
Wow, okay. That kind of organic buzz is powerful. So content, check. Community, check. What about like the newer Instagram features or tools we might be missing?
Yeah, definitely worth exploring the newer stuff. Sometimes Instagram gives a little visibility nudge to early adopters, like broadcast channels.
The ones rolled out late last year.
Yeah. They're great for sharing updates or behind-the-scenes stuff directly with your most engaged followers. It feels more exclusive, more intimate.
Okay, like an inner circle.
Kind of. And don't forget pinning. You can pin posts to the top of your profile, maybe your best performer, or an important announcement.
So new visitors see it straight away.
Exactly. And you can pin comments, too. Pinning a really positive comment, that's
Oh.
great social proof.
Good tips. Things that are right there, but maybe underused.
And what about analytics? All that data Instagram gives us. How
Don't-
crucial is that?
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. The in-app analytics are pretty robust now. You need to be looking at them regularly.
What should we be looking for?
Your audience insights, demographics, when they're most active. See which posts are getting the most reach, the most saves, the most comments. It tells you what's working.
So you can do more of that.
Precisely. Use the data to test things. Different formats, different posting times, different captions. Tweak your strategy based on what the numbers tell you, not just gut feelings. Makes sense. And consistency is key too, right? Does scheduling help there?
Definitely. Using tools like Later or Buffer helps you maintain that regular posting rhythm, which the algorithm likes. Plus, it frees you up to actually engage more in real time.
Right. Batch the creation, schedule it, then focus on the interaction. Okay. So Instagram is its own world, but should we be thinking beyond just Instagram itself?
Yes, absolutely. Think bigger picture. Your online presence isn't just one platform, it's connected. Cross-promotion is key.
How do you mean?
Well, maybe you share a quick tip on Instagram. Could that become a deeper dive on YouTube, or a summary on your blog, or a Twitter thread?
Connecting the dots between platforms.
Exactly. Use each platform to funnel people towards the others, including back to your Instagram. And use those link stickers in stories smartly.
To send people to your website or newsletter.
Or that YouTube video or product page. Make it easy for people to take the next step, track what links get clicked.
That multi-platform thinking feels important for longer-term growth. What about, like, getting featured somewhere else entirely, off Instagram?
Yes. Don't overlook that. Could you be a guest on a podcast in your niche? Write a guest post for a relevant blog. Get featured in an industry newsletter.
Pitching yourself or your expertise.
Yeah. These kinds of external collaborations can bring in a whole new, highly relevant audience. Remember that art account example? They got featured on a creative blog.
And saw a big jump in profile visits and followers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the audience was already interested in that topic. It's about finding those strategic placements.
Okay, spreading the net wider strategically. Now, all this sounds like it needs careful tracking. How do we know if any of this is actually working? How do we measure progress properly?
This is where we get really disciplined. Data-driven experimentation. You have to track what you're doing, no more guesswork.
Okay, so how do we start?
Start with SMART metrics. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Not just get more followers.
More like gain 500 followers and increase story interactions by 30% in the next 3 months.
Perfect. Then you need a routine. Weekly reviews of your Instagram insights. Maybe use an external dashboard too. Look at reach, engagement rate, profile visits, saves, shares, website clicks.
The key numbers.
The key numbers. And then test stuff. A/B testing. Try different formats side by side, different hooks in your captions, different posting times. See what actually moves the needle.
So it's like a constant experiment. Try, measure, learn, adjust.
Exactly. It's a cycle.
And what if something just isn't working? We put effort in, but the data says nope.
Then you pivot. That's crucial. Be willing to double down on what is working based on the data.
Okay.
And just as importantly, be willing to adapt or even scrap the stuff that isn't delivering. If behind-the-scenes content is killing it, do more. If Reels are outperforming photos by miles, lean into Reels.
So follow the data, not just your assumptions.
Precisely. Be adaptable. That's a huge advantage for smaller accounts. You can shift strategy faster.
Okay, wow. This has been super thorough. To kind of wrap it all up, if someone's listening right now, what are the absolute key action steps they should take, like today or this week?
Okay, let's boil it down. 6 key steps. Step 1, audit your profile. Now, optimize that bio, check your profile pic, update your highlights, pin your best stuff. Make a great first impression.
Good housekeeping. Step 2.
Design a content calendar. Plan out your posts, reels, carousels, stories. Decide on a minimum number per week and schedule it in advance if you can. Batching helps.
Get organized. Step 3.
Engage daily. Seriously, dedicate time every single day to interact. Respond to comments, DMs, reach out to others. Try to set up a small collab each week.
Make interaction a priority. 4.
Implement measurement habits. Weekly check-in with your insights. What worked last week? Why? Learn from it.
Stay on top of the data. 5.
Expand and experiment. Try new features regularly. Promote your Instagram on other platforms. Use email list, other socials.
Keep trying new things. And the last one, step 6.
Invest in your growth strategically. Maybe that's an online course. Maybe it's carefully looking into ethical growth services if you have the budget and want some momentum. Don't be afraid to invest smartly.
Audit, plan, engage, measure, expand, invest.
Got it. So it really feels like real, authentic growth on Instagram in 2025. It's not a myth for small accounts.
Not at all. It's totally achievable if you master these kinds of strategies.
It really seems to boil down to like amazing content, relentless engagement, and just being adaptable.
That's the core of it. Know your strengths, know your audience, use these tactics, and measure everything.
And remember, algorithms change, but the basics, providing value, being authentic, building real connections, that stuff lasts.
Absolutely. That's the foundation.
So the final thought maybe is aim for that lasting presence, not just chasing numbers. Focus on what your audience truly loves. Go build something amazing.
Well said. Go make it happen.